Hello and welcome to Enjoy English School.
欢迎来到 Enjoy 英语学院。
I'm Stevie.
And I'm Laurie.
Today and tomorrow we are looking at our business English lesson. We're going to have two dialogues talking about the new office dress code. Now, dress code is when your office or your school has rules about how you dress, called the dress code.
没错，所以呢，这个今天跟明天的商用英语的单元，我们要来看到的这个对话，中文的标题叫做 Suit Up， 打造办公室专业形象。这里面呢，这个出现了 Suit Up 这个片语。
Well, suit up means put your clothes on. It could be if you are playing on a sports team, put your team uniform on. Suit up. Also, we hear this in.Like Superman needs to change into his Superman clothes. He needs to suit up. And suit, 如果单用的话, it means 西装, right?
That's right.
But to suit up means to get dressed in your uniform or your clothes.
所以把它扮起来，你可以这样讲的意思。
Yeah.
所以这就是我们今天的这个跟明天的对话，我们赶快一起来看看吧。
Okay, looking at Dialogue A, we have Mr. Parsons and Daphne. Mr. Parsons sounds like he's maybe the boss?
I think so.
I don't know. Because Mr. Parsons is talking about a new dress code policy with his secretary, Daphne. When we say it's a new dress code policy, it means it's a new rule in the company.
所以呢，我们来看到这个对话呢，两位这个对话者，一位是 Mr. Parsons， 一位是 Daphne。那么呢 ，Mr. Parsons 他正在跟 Daphne 呢，他的秘书 Daphne 呢，讨论到有关于办公室里头新的这个服装这个规范的这个policy 我们讲这个新的一个他要颁布的一个政策这个准备要关于呢是这个他的服装规范的。
Yeah.And it looks like we're starting kind of in the middle of a conversation.
That's right.
Because he says, so, I plan to put the policy into effect within the next month. So they have been talking about this new dress code policy. And he says, I'm going to put it into effect within the next month. So sometime in the next month.
对。所以呢，这里的话呢，我们首先看到，我们是从他们的对话的一半开始接进去的。那么 Mr. Parsons 呢，他说，所以我计划要呢把这项政策这项新的这个规定呢这个在下一个月这个左右开始来实施它。所以这里我们看到了一个片语是 put something into effect， 这个就是实行实施的意思。
So, he says, we're going to do this within the next month. And Daphne says, I see. 我看到了. No, actually, when we say I see, that means I understand. Yes. May I ask why you want to enforce a dress code for the office? Enforce is actually a really good word to use. We hear this a lot when we see...Like when we hear about policemen, they enforce the law. And this word, actually, it's easy to remember if you can remember the word force.
对。
Force is
强迫
or 勉强, right? So, how are we going to force you to follow this rule? Okay? How are we going to enforce the rule? It means, really, to force you...to obey the rule or the law.
对
That's what enforce means. So how are we going to, make people follow your dress code? That's what it means.
对，好的。所以呢，我们来看到这个，接下来 Daphne 他就先回答，我了解好，我明白，这个你下个月打算要开始实施你的这个新的这个着装的这个服装的这个规范那么我可不可以问一下 May I ask Why 啊？为什么你呢打算要来在这个办公室里头呢，强制的来实施，强制的来实行，叫做 enforce。那么记忆的方法呢，刚刚 C 表示提供这个方法就很好记有一个 force 在里面，强迫，所以你就可以这样子去记它那么要来强制实行这个服装的规定呢？
And he says, I went to another office last week. Okay, now we're starting to get an idea. He saw something at another office.
没错。
I went to another office last week.
所以呢 Parsons Mr. Parsons 就来解释了，他说我上个礼拜去了另一家办公室。
They had a very professional-looking uniform with jackets for the men and vests for the women. So they had a very professional-looking uniform. Now, you are going to see this word a lot, professional. Okay? Good word to remember. Because in any job that you do, we often hear, hey, you need to be professional. You need to act professional. You need to be a professional. We hear this a lot in any work, really. But they had a very professional-looking uniform with jackets for the men and vests for the women. I liked it.
好。所以呢，接下来呢，他继续讲到，他既然上个礼拜去了另一家办公室，那怎么样呢？他说他们这个有着非常专业的这个 looking 呢是看起来，所以呢，这里他把它复合成一个形容词，变成是看起来很专业的制服，然后呢是怎么样的一个状态 ？with 后面告诉我们，男生是穿这个西装上衣，然后女生呢是搭配这个背心。
And Daphne says,A uniform? Ooh. She doesn't do this face to her boss. That's inside her head. 她这个表情是在里面，
在脑子里。
Ooh. Because she says that probably won't go over well with the staff. When something does not go over well, that means not many people like it. This sentence means, a uniform? I don't think our employees are going to like that.
Like that idea.
Yeah.
所以呢 Daphne 就首先呢质疑了他说制服，然后呢出现了一个问号然后呢接着他说恐怕这个 that 是指这个 idea 这个想法穿这个要求变成像制服一样的这种服装规范的这个想法是那个 that probably 可能 won't go over well 就是不会呢被接受的很好，然后是对象是谁呢 with the staff 是员工们所以那我们这个直译完毕以后，你的顺一次的顺序就是员工们恐怕呢不会接受这样子的一个规定这样的感觉。
And he says, no, not a uniform. I just want people to look neat and tidy in the office. So I don't want them to wear a uniform, but I want them to look neat and tidy here in the office.
好，所以呢 Mr. Parsons 他就说不是制服，我并没有要求要穿制服，我只是希望人们呢在办公室里看起来能够 neat and tidy 这两个是固定常常配在一起用的它指的就是能够井井有条井然有序的意思 alright 然后呢这个所以他说并不是制服
Yeah. And you just said neat and tidy go together. They actually mean the same thing.
对
Neat means the same thing as tidy.
对
But we like to put them together. Neat and tidy.
两个字其实是一样的意思
Yeah, 很整齐，很
放得很井井有序这样
Yeah. So I want people to look neat and tidy. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any ideas you want to share with me?
然后 Mr. Parsons 就问 Daphne 他说那你有什么建议吗
And we're going to take a quick break and then find out what the suggestions are. So Daphne says, I think everyone is happy with the current arrangement. Now, when we say the current arrangement, she means, I think people are happy with the way things are now. Like, I think people are happy right now with the rules we have now.
所以呢，这时候 Daphne 就继续表达他的意见了，因为既然这个Mr. Parsons 问他你有什么建议吗？所以他就说了，我想呢，每个人都对于现在的安排是很开心的，这个是直译。那么意思就是说呢，每个人都很满意目前的安排。这里的 current 是现在的、目前的。那么 arrangement 是从 arrange 这个动词来的名词，那么指的就是安排的意思。
Then she says, I'm not sure how they'll respond to a dress code. I'm not sure how they'll respond. I'm not sure how they will react. R-E-A-C-T. How they will react to a new dress code.
然后他呢继续接着表达他的意见说，我不确定 they 是指他们的这些staff 员工们呢，他的同事们呢会怎么样的来 respond to 这个片语，或者刚刚 Stevie 老师讲的 react to 就是呢对这个东西的回应会是怎么样那对什么东西你接在 to 的后面，就是呢一个新的服装规定，一个着装规定，他们的反应会是什么？我不确定。
Yeah. And honestly, this next sentence, I think he's being a little bit silly. But he says, well, some employees are dressing a bit too flashy, like Barbara in accounting. When we say too flashy, that means that somebody likes to dress maybe in bright colors. Maybe they like to wear like big jewelry. Somebody who likes to be really outgoing and colorful. And so we'll say they're flashy. Okay. Sometimes we say rock stars or pop stars. They dress very flashy. 因为真的会闪. Right? Flash, flash, flash. But flashy means like bright and it catches your notice.
OK, 所以呢，我们可以用那个浮夸这样的方式来描述它了所以呢，他就讲这个Mr. Parsons 就是发表他的意见，他说，我觉得有些员工呢他们穿的有点太这个浮夸了，例如像这个会计部的这个 Barbara 这样。
Yeah, nobody likes a flashy accountant. No. So, but then he continues. He says, others are just dressing too casual, like Jeff in sales or Stevie yeah. I like to dress very casual. That means comfortable, not flashy, not fancy. For me, I don't like to wear suits. 我很不喜欢穿西装带领带I can, but I like comfortable, casual clothing. So I would be too casual probably for
to
this
Mr.
boss.
Parsons.
Yeah. So he said others are just dressing too casual, like Jeff in sales.
好，所以呢 Mr. Parsons 继续讲那他这里的话，你看到有一个前面有一个 some， 所以后面有一个 others 它是一个这样子的一个句子的用法。那么这个刚刚前面讲完了 Barbara， 他说那有一些穿的像 Barbara 很浮夸，那其他的有一些则是穿的呢太休闲了 ，casual 就是休闲的意思。比如说像销售部门、业务部门的这个 Jeff 一样。
Okay, and now Daphne, I think she has a good relationship with her boss because she's telling him what she really thinks. She's
right.
giving him good suggestions. So he just said Barbara's too flashy. She says, that's just Barbara's style. That's just the way she dresses. That's her style. She loves her brightly colored outfits. Outfit is kind of like it's an outfit is what you decide to wear today. Okay? Could be shorts and a t-shirt or special shoes to go with your hair color or, an outfit is what you decided to wear. And Barbara's style, she likes bright stuff. brightly colored clothes.
所以呢，这时候 Daphne 她就继续来这个表达她的想法了。她说，那个就是that's just 那不过是这个 Barbara 她的这个风格她的你可以用一个这个apostrophe s 来加一个 style， 就是她个人的风格接着呢，她讲到说，她呢就是喜欢穿着那样子，她那样子的这种鲜艳色彩。这里的 brightly colored 这个 brightly 我们不会翻成明亮啦我们可以翻成鲜艳鲜艳色彩的这种一些服装。刚刚讲 outfit 就是你每天出门你决定要穿的那个服装的搭配
Yeah.
就是 outfit.
And then she says, Jeff usually dresses nicely for meetings. He only wears those old t-shirts when he's working in his office. So when Jeff is in his office sitting there, he likes to wear his old comfortable t-shirts. But when he goes out for meetings or to meet customers or clients, then he dresses in a suit. He dresses nicely.
Nicely. 所以呢，这里的 nicely 我们可以翻成比较体面那就是想当然尔，就是也是比较正式的感觉这样所以呢 Jeff 他通常呢这个开会的时候叫做 for meetings， 开会的时候他都会穿的比较体面他只有呢在他在办公室里头工作的时候呢才会穿那些旧的这个 T-shirts这个是 Jeff 的状况。
Yeah. And but Mr. Parsons, he has decided we need some rules. I want more rules. So Mr. Parsons says, I still think we need some ground rules for what's expected in the office. Ground rules is very simple. Where is the ground? The ground is
under our
feet, right?
Yeah.
地面 so ground rules just means very basic rules. Okay? Just basic rules. We need some basic rules, some ground rules for what's expected, meaning what me, the boss, expects from you people. 我对你们的要求。
我期待的是这样。
Yeah.
对 OK 所以呢这里他说了这个我还是觉得所以这里 Mr. Parsons 他的意见他说我还是认为我们需要一些呢这个基本的规范基本的规定这是刚刚讲的 ground rules 那 for 后面接的是为了什么的这个基本规范呢？你要规定什么呢？就是在办公室里头我期待的是什么，我预期的我想要看到的是什么这里的 expect 就是我的期待所以呢我要看到什么的那个我希望还是要有一些基本规定。
I want people to have a sense of discipline.A feeling of discipline.
那我希望人们要有一种纪律的感觉。这里的 discipline 就是纪律的意思。
Yeah. And Daphne says, I guess I see your point. This means, okay, I understand what you're talking about, but maybe she doesn't 100% agree.
对，这个时候呢，你就可以这样讲我想我明白你的观点或者你的角度，但是这就表示你并不是完全赞成。
Yeah. So then he says, okay, here are my notes. Okay. Here are my notes. Please write up a draft sometime this week. Write up. She's the secretary. She's probably going to type it up, but write up a draft. So I want you to write a list of the rule. I want you to write out the rule, and I want to see it sometime this week.
对，所以呢，这边讲到说，好了，这些就是我的笔记这上面都是重点，但是我请你能够写出一份，拟出一份这个 draft， 我们通常讲是草稿，是第一版的 first edition 所以呢，你先写一份草稿，这个大概在这个礼拜的什么时间都可以帮我写出一份来。
And she says, okay, I can do that.
那 Daphne 就回答，没问题，我可以做到。
Okay, we're going to have a quick review, and we'll be right back. Okay, just really quickly, there was one sentence where Mr. Parsons asked Daphne, do you have any suggestions? Now, there's another word that means, do you have any ideas? Anything you can do to help? There's another word we could use. Do you have any advice? Like, do you have anything that important that might help? Okay, so advice is a very good word to use. And that is ADVICE, advice.
对，所以呢，这里 Stevie 老师帮我们补充的 suggestion 或者是 advice 两个都是建议的一个意思。那这里的话也补充一下，就是 suggestions 这里我们的文章里用了一个 as plural，但是小心 advice 呢，我们不会讲 advices， 我们在前面你都可以加一个量词 a piece of advice， two pieces of advice 加在前面不要在后面，这个地方小心就可以了。
Yeah, so Laurie, I need some advice. I'm poor and I need like $1 billion.
Really?
Do you have any advice? She's like, me too.
Well, I want to say go away.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have today. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
A new office dress code. Dialogue A. Mr. Parsons is talking about a new dress code policy with his secretary, Daphne.
So I plan to put the policy into effect within the next month.
I see. May I ask why you want to enforce a dress code for the office?
I went to another office last week. They had a very professional-looking uniform with jackets for the men and vests for the women.
A uniform? That probably won't go over well with the staff.
No, not a uniform. I just want people to look neat and tidy in the office. Do you have any suggestions?
I think everyone is happy with the current arrangement. I'm not sure how they'll respond to a dress code.
Well, some employees are dressing a bit too flashy, like Barbara in accounting. Others are just dressing too casual, like Jeff in sales.
That's just Barbara's style. She loves her brightly colored outfits. Jeff usually dresses nicely for meetings. He only wears those old t-shirts when he's working in his office.
I still think we need some ground rules for what's expected in the office. I want people to have a sense of discipline.
I guess I see your point.
Here are my notes. Please write up a draft sometime this week.
Okay, I can do that.